are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Hello, Tess. Good to see you. Hey, Forgets and Shiggles. Forgets and Shiggles. Hey, Adrian. Good to see you. Hey, Amber. Hippie Chick. Chase. Good to see everybody. Music City Mom. Hello, Sunshine Girl. Artemisia. Hippie Chick. Mayla's mom. Debbie Doodles. Lisa. Lucia. Aries. Kathy. Hey, Punksy. Christina's alter ego. Hello, Michelle. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Belinda. I am sorry that I was late. So I was rushing around. I've had a very chaotic day. I had to take care of a lot of business stuff, and then the kids are sick. Bentley missed school today because he's sick. Trenton came home from school today at like 9 a.m. with a hurt ankle, and it's been just a day. Then I had to go out grocery shopping and stuff. I get back to do the live, and the internet was not participating. So I had to reload it all, and it ended up working. But the whole reason I wanted to even mention this is next Tuesday, the 18th, it's Tuesday or Wednesday, we're getting new internet. So hopefully we will have way less issues and we'll be able to do way more. So I'm really excited about that. Oh, Wolfie, I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Hey, Deb and Pete. Hey, Amanda Love. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with my true crime news. Hey, Shanna. Hey, Teacup. But what it is it's just really a hangout where we together explore and read through cases that are currently happening that really aren't being talked about a lot. There is common themes that underlie every single true crime news, and it's just random. So it's really interesting. I was thinking of this before looking at some of the stories. We're going to talk about a little girl who grabbed a loaded handgun off of the PlayStation. I think she was 6 years old, and took her own life by accident. That is almost every time. There is either a kid that accidentally shoots themselves, a sibling, a parent, almost every true crime news. We're also going to be talking about CPS not doing their job, and that will be an underlying theme in some of these cases. We're going to talk about some missing people, but I do mean it when I put that warning, rage-inducing, because they make you angry for multiple reasons. One, because they really aren't being talked about all that much. Two, because getting like a real close look at all of these different things together at one time that are all happening around the same time, it's just, we don't even realize how much happens, how many kids go missing, how many parents take the life of their kids, things like that. Hey, Mama 4. Hey, Unseen. Hey, Aries. Neat Noodle. Good to see you. Hey, Vicky. Dr. T needs to take advice from you and eyebrows. Ooh, thank you, Music City Mom. I do not have any eyebrows. Hey, Akasha. Is Sharon here? Oh, hello, Cher. Good to see you. So good to see you. Yeah, I have no eyebrows. I think like the early 2000s, I plucked them and they're like, they end like right here. I got a little bit, but yeah, so I'll share. Hey, Kimberly. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, all right, we're about to get right into it. Hey, KPM, just know that these stories will infuriate you. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's not the most popular. Hey, Cricket. Hey, Kelly P. It is not the most popular. However, it's important. These are cases, like I said, that just really, I don't think that many of us would even know happened if we didn't hang out and do this together. True Crime Crazy. As soon as I got home, I had to come onto the live. So I am so excited to immediately go open that box. I hope you don't mind that I share that True Crime Crazy made a blanket for Bentley. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So, okay. Hey, Rock. Let's see. Okay, Brace, good to see you. I was just talking about the eyebrows I had before 2002. Yeah, not good ones. But I use those little, like right now I used a regular pencil because I do have a new pen, but I haven't opened it yet. But I use those felt tip pens. And the one by NYX is so good. It's cheap. And you can draw like little tiny brow-like lines that look like eyebrow hairs. It works really good. So, Okay. Hello, Sharon. New subscriber here. Algorithm brought me to your channel. I really enjoy your content. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for commenting. Okay. Hey, Clicker. I can't wait either. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Like I said, just know that I feel you. I'll be infuriated with you. I usually end up cussing and all that during these. We're going to start with this little boy who is missing. Let me turn this off just so we get better service. So, Missouri boy who is 11 years old. Let's check it out. Have not seen this anywhere. You guys let me know in the chat, though, as we go, if these are cases you've heard about. Also, the website, we use a couple websites when I do true crime news, but one of the main ones is Crime Online. I love this website. It is just a place where just about anything that's happening, you'll find it over there. Even in an open case, whatever. The big popular cases, the ones that aren't all of them. So, okay. The Springfield Police Department in Missouri issued an endangered person advisory Friday for an 11-year-old boy last seen on Thursday. According to police, Titus Vang, that's his name, he left his home in the 4500 block of S. Greystone in Springfield around 7:40 p.m. on January 11th. Police have not said why he left his residence. Now, the person writing this, if you look, Lee Egan, remember she's the one that used to write with Letitia back and forth. But the police posted missing Titus Vang, another 11-year-old baby. Last seen wearing a blue and white Nike hoodie with a gray Nike undershirt, black pants, white Nike shoes on 111 at 7:44 p.m. His residence on foot. Info, call 911. We will pull up these pictures just so we can get a better look at it. Titus is described as being 4 feet tall, 50 pounds. Again, white and blue hoodie, gray shirt, and black pants. Anyone with any information is urged to call 911 or the Springfield Police Department. So there's not a lot about this, but I do want us to just take a look at his pictures a little closer. I've never had them threaded teacup. I've always wondered about those. About that, I mean. There's 111 people in here. Lil Red, it makes me so sad to see so many kids missing or deceased. I know. That's part of why this can be so infuriating. Hello, Raining on Your Charade. That's why I'm like truly warning if like this stuff will get you upset or ruin your day. It's not the one. And there are some pretty horrific stories we're going to talk about tonight. Unfortunately, it is the reality of what is happening in our world. Hey, JC. Hey, Meta Mom. Good to see you guys. So here's Titus. Oh, he's little. Wait a minute. 4 foot and 50 pounds at 11? My God, that's small. Bentley is 7, and he's a big boy. Not like overweight, but just like a big boy, tall and thick, and he's like 80 pounds. And I know like the car seat requirements are 8 years old and 80 pounds. That is small, you guys. He is very cute. Okay, you guys, hold on just 1 second, please. Angie, have we heard anything? Message me after this so that we can chat. My 10-year-old is my height now, 5'5". So he's 4 foot and 50 pounds. But I mean, he could just be little. This is not at all like, a lot of Asian people are smaller. My very best friend, who I've talked to you guys about a million times, I came outside. Sorry for the bag rattling, but it's carrying my drink and my phone. But my very best friend, she was Filipino, and she was teeny tiny, and most of her family was teeny tiny. So I don't know. He is adorable. Disclaimer, my son is a giant. I was getting ready to say that. Yeah, Mayla's mom. Hey, Donna. My daughters were over 50 pounds at age 7. Well, those are the stats, and that's all we have. So we're going to, like I said, there are many cases on here I want to discuss, and so we'll move on to our next one. Okay. So look at this beautiful baby. Apparently, this is Dad's girlfriend to the right of her. I do try to do a little refresh before we do these, but sometimes I'm learning with you as we go. So I've read a little bit, but very little, and just trying to organize my thoughts for tonight. So what a pretty baby. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Top girl 1 found fatally poisoned with acetone by Dad's girlfriend. Pennsylvania prosecutors arrested a woman for homicide on Wednesday, months after her boyfriend's 1-year-old daughter was reportedly fatally poisoned with acetone. Iris Jacoby Alfera died on June 29th, 4 days after she was allegedly found unresponsive in Alicia Owens's Newcastle home. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office determined the toddler died from organ failure caused by acetone poisoning, and doctors determined that her cognitive and functional changes would have been apparent to her caregivers, according to Tribune Live. So she passed from organ failure caused by acetone poisoning, and they're basically saying that you would have saw symptoms of this long before it happened. So local news to the area, WPXI, reported that Jacoby Alfera's father was at the store when Owens claimed his daughter fell off the bed and appeared lethargic. Owens allegedly told him that she did not hit her head when she fell. However, when Jacoby Alfera's father relayed this to a 911 dispatcher, Owens interjected to say the baby did hit her head. In addition to fatal levels of acetone in her blood, doctors reportedly also determined Jacoby Alfera suffered a brain bleed and hemorrhaging to both retinas. Her father and Owens allegedly claimed the baby seemed normal despite vomiting 2 or 3 times in the day leading up to her hospitalization. We're going to go check out the local news because they've hyperlinked quite a lot. Can't see your comments. I'll get to them, but let me finish this. So Owens reportedly told police that she was feeding Jacoby on the bed when the baby's arms and legs, quote, cramped up, unquote. Owens claimed she then fell off the bed and onto the floor. Detectives claimed the bed Owens fell from was a 6-inch mattress setting on a carpeted floor. Lord have mercy, you guys. The news outlet also reported that less than 3 months before Jacoby Alfera's death, she was hospitalized for swallowing water beads and batteries. Jacoby was in her father's custody at the time, and Owens had allegedly searched online about the same items his daughter was hospitalized for ingesting. Lawrence County Children and Youth Services was informed of the incident, but it is unclear what action the agency took. Tribune Live reported that no charges were filed at that time. However, in April, Jacoby Alfera's mother filed a petition with the court claiming that her daughter was in danger due to her, quote, father's inability to appropriately supervise, unquote. And I would have done the same thing. If my kid swallows batteries, then you're not watching them. In turn, the judge ordered Jacoby's mother and father to complete co-parenting classes. From February to June, Owens allegedly searched online about items that are harmful to children. WFMJ reported that she conducted searches for, quote, beauty products that are poisonous to kids, unquote, and medications leading to cause accidental poisoning deaths in children. That's another quote. Another search was, what should you do if your child drinks acetone? Owens looked up how to pass a polygraph test after her boyfriend's daughter's death. According to WFMJ, she has been charged with criminal homicide and remains jailed without bond. You have to be kidding me. Oh God, this one is infuriating. What a disgusting bee. She fell off the bed. You know, the bed that's on the floor, the 6-inch mattress. And what is this? You're jealous of dad, his attention or something? Melanie, I know. You guys, I warned you, like that. I so mean it when I say it's infuriating, but almost like it's important that we get mad about this shit. You know, this is important. Hey, NT's Apple Bottom Jeans. Hey, Kathy. These stories need to be talked about. Let me know in the chat if anybody has heard of this case yet. If you've heard of this case, I want to know, because I'm surprised it's not all over the place. She must have been forced to drink it. And how would she do that? Because wouldn't it taste bad? I don't have like a lot of experience with acetone, but I do have some at the house now because mom had it for like nail polish remover, and I used it, but it smelled like regular nail polish remover. You hadn't heard of it? Ooh, Trans-Allegheny. That's like 2 hours from where I used to live. I've been there multiple times. I actually got married right across the road from there at the Weston Courthouse. Don't ask. My marriage was the divorce took longer than we were married. We'll leave it at that. Hey, Stephanie. Forced her to drink it. Donna hadn't heard of it. Jenny, I know. It's disgusting. Mayla's mom. One of my boys drank a small amount of bleach when he was 2. He spit it out immediately, and I freaked out and called poison control. So I had a slight incident like that. I had like a Lysol bottle, and Bentley like grabbed it and tried to put his mouth on it. Didn't spray anything or anything. Like he just put his mouth on it, and I grabbed it from him, but I still called poison control too. Oh, Adrian, I just love you and appreciate you. I appreciate all my mods. Thank you, guys. My wedding took longer to plan than the marriage lasted. Okay, Woofy. Okay. More corrosive than toxic, I should say. Well, I'm sure that he's fine because he spit it out, and she called poison control, which is all we can do as moms. But how does your kid swallow several batteries? And what was the other thing? Yes. Okay, Tess. So you have seen it. I don't know about battery acid, but she had been hospitalized for batteries and water beads. That's it. Thank you, Tabitha. My great niece got a water bead. It was totally accidental, but she was in the ICU for 8 days. One tiny bead. Oh my God. Punksy, I need a pretzel. Look at this baby. God almighty. A Lawrence County woman was in court Thursday. Should we just watch the video? Maybe we'll get, I haven't looked at this article yet. I had only glanced at crime online. But maybe we'll get to court. Sorry for the ads, of course.
Newcastle woman is facing several charges tonight after she's accused of killing her boyfriend's 18th with those investigating.
We're going to read the article. I just want to fast forward if there's court footage. Sometimes these small news stations, they'll get mad if you play their stuff and try to strike. They're showing a nail salon because of the acetone. Her Google searches. Beauty products that are poisonous to kids. Medications leading to cause accidental poisoning deaths in children. What should you do if your child drinks acetone? How many kids have died from eating water beads? Can sunscreen poison a 1-year-old baby? And how to pass a polygraph test. So between March 30th and April 1st, she was hospitalized after ingesting multiple harmful objects, 20 water beads. Oh my God almighty. 3 button-type batteries and a metal screw. What the hell, you guys? Now I am furious. What is wrong with this woman? Water beads are little pebbles that swell with water into the size of a marble. I didn't realize they were that dangerous either. Orbeez. Yep, Sarah. Me too, Becky. Poison control said bleach is the most common ingested because it looks like water. He coughed for a bit and we kept giving water. Oh my God almighty, you guys. I don't know Mr. Yuck. Hey, Pointer Lover. My internet. I have 2 internet moms, actually, you and Angie. Pointer Lover's my mod mama. Mama Mod. She's here. Okay, let's read about this. I'm going to warn you, Pointer Lover, this story is disgusting. We are talking about a woman who was jealous, I assume. I don't know. She, dad's girlfriend, Alicia Owens, 20, pictured below, was charged with the death of, they call her Iris Alfera here. The other article called her Jacoby. Let's read this, though. So there she is. Wow, lady. Owens was denied bail after being brought before a district magistrate on charges of criminal homicide, attempted homicide, aggravated assault of a child, endangering the welfare of a child, and other offenses regarding conduct leading to the baby's death and other acts of abuse in months prior. So this little girl, she calls 911 and says that she was feeding her and her muscles cramped up and she didn't know what happened. She told dad that she fell off the bed. Mind you, the bed is a mattress on the floor. She said at first she didn't hit her head, then she did hit her head. They found Google searches all over her phone asking about how to poison a child, what beauty products could poison a child. And she ultimately passed away from organ failure from acetone poisoning, which they noted that there would be signs of that. It wouldn't be an immediate thing. Jelly baby, I agree. Her face looks a little bruised. It does. I can't imagine a baby just swallowing those things. I wonder if she put it in food or something. That's what I was thinking. A metal screw. Like babies do put everything in their mouth, but 20 water beads, a metal screw. Melissa said that happened to a friend of mine with the bead. Hey, positive. Oh no. I lost your comment. Positive vibes. I'm trying to get back to it, but I cannot. Proud of it. Oh, I love you so much and appreciate you so much. Pointer Lover. Hi, beautiful pyromaniac friend. Hey, Amber Lou. My sister used to be in the original commercials. Yep, absolutely a monster. Mr. Yuck is the black and green stickers from way back when the poison control number on them, you put them on things that shouldn't be swallowed or ingested. Oh, okay. Hadn't heard of that. So water beads can be found in toys and crafts and can be harmful to your digestive system because they expand. On June 25th, 2023, emergency responders were called to the home of Bailey Jacoby, where he lived with Owens, his girlfriend. First responders found Jacoby's 1-year-old daughter unresponsive and transported her to the hospital for treatment. She was later airlifted to the Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh, where she passed away on June 29th. An autopsy performed the following day showed the cause of death was acetone poisoning, which caused organ failure. Medical experts who examined her body concluded the child was exposed to acetone just before her hospitalization. The medical examiner determined the child's death was the result of fatal levels of acetone in her blood. Further investigation found that the months leading up to this incident, Owens had conducted web searches on her cell phone related to the actions that ultimately led to the child's death. In February to June, she repeatedly searched for information on household products that could cause a child serious harm, including water beads, batteries, and nail polish. Also, beauty products that are poisonous to kids and medications leading to cause accidental poisoning deaths in children. Other searches included, what should you do if your child drinks acetone? And how many kids have died from eating water beads? Can sunscreen poison a 1-year-old baby? Then, according to the criminal complaint, between March 30th and the 1st, she was hospitalized for ingesting multiple harmful objects, the beads, the batteries, and the screw. She did go on to delete things like how to pass a polygraph or how to control your reaction to irrelevant questions and have no reaction to relevant questions on a polygraph. Here is the timeline. Oh, okay. This is a good article. So 3:30 p.m., Dad leaves the house. I wish it was like this thing on the side is covering up the times. No. I do apologize, you guys. Okay. Let's see if whatever. So 3:32, Owens is at the house per GPS data. 3:53, 21 minutes later, Owen texts Bailey that the child was eating applesauce. Wow, that would be the perfect thing to mix with screws, batteries, stuff like that. Hey, Skylab. Good to see you. Just date someone without kids, right? Is it that you are jealous of dad's attention, or could it be, kids are hard, and when they are crying or teething, or you know what I mean, they're just, did she get frustrated having to care for this baby? Absolutely no excuse. I don't give a damn if you're frustrated or not. Suck it up, Buttercup. You're a damn adult. I'm about sick and tired of seeing children throw temper tantrums or adults throw temper tantrums like children. And I've been seeing a whole damn lot of that lately. So 3:53, she's eating applesauce. 4:02, she attempts to call dad. 4:03, so within 9 minutes, she starts calling dad and texts him saying, answer his phone now. She also at 4:03 calls Bailey, and Bailey tells her to call 911. 4:04 p.m., Owens calls 911. 4:07 p.m., Bailey arrives back at the house. The details of this case are heartbreaking. It's hard to fathom someone taking deliberate steps to harm a completely helpless child, then mislead investigators about what happened, said the Attorney General. I know, Donna. All we can do is keep on, I don't know, is not be like that. But jealousy like a child, so much of this lately. These people make me sick. I know, true crime crazy. I know. So did nobody hear of this case before? Tess had. Tess and I are going to be working on a little project together. I'm excited about her brilliant little mind. It's just crazy that the case, nobody has heard about it. I hadn't either. It's depressing, but we got more. So let's continue. Hollywood exec's son shirtless in court while pleading to not guilty to dismembering wife. I'm going to drop the link to this website so you guys can read some of the stories I don't read, because I have a few that I definitely want to talk about. This is the next one. Again, more disgusting women and children, so just be warned. Hey, Meatfoot. Yes, Mayla's mom. I'm excited. I would love to do stuff with, your brilliant brain too. But I am very much looking forward to that. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Johnny. Long time no see, buddy. Well, probably not that long, but YouTube time goes fast. Why not Google alternatives to murder? Right. Exactly. Well, now we're on to mom charged with killing infant son and blaming her jealous toddler daughter. By Casey Wildmoon. Let me grab the link to this particular story just to drop it in the chat for you guys. And if you want to explore more, you just click on Crime Online at the top. Ooh, I would love that, Mayla's mom. Well, we can think about it. I think we're going to do some cold case stuff, just some different stuff. So if you have any good ideas, let me know. I know, Melanie. That's what I'm saying. Let me know if you heard of this one, you guys. I really would be curious to know if you have. A Pennsylvania woman has been arrested after she allegedly killed her 3-month-old son and blamed it on her toddler daughter. Alicia Parker, 26, has been charged with criminal homicide and endangering the welfare of a child after the baby, Davon Means, was pronounced dead at a hospital. DeQuisney, I don't know. This is a police department, but it's quite hard to see. DeQuisney we'll just say police responded to a call about an unresponsive infant just before 2 a.m. on Sunday, according to the Allegheny County Police Department. Emergency responders tried CPR and then took the little boy to the hospital. Parker, mom, called my sister Sunday, and she told my sister that the baby stopped breathing. Oprah Means, the child's great aunt, told the local news. She kept saying little things like he was sick, and we can check out that local news after we get through this. So a criminal complaint said that Parker lived at the house with her 2 children, a cousin, and the cousin's 18-month-old child. The station said the cousin, identified as witness 1 in the complaint, told police that on the night before the boy's death, they spoke with Parker on the phone and could hear the baby crying in the background. Witness 1 described this cry as an angry, hungry type of cry, the complaint said. The witness later arrived at the home and found Parker awake and drinking tequila. Later in the night, the witness went to check on the children and did not initially find the baby. When they did, they said the child's, quote, ear was noticeably white, unquote, and the witness said the baby did not appear to be breathing. At the hospital, Parker told detectives that if there's anything that happened out of the ordinary, my 3-year-old child did it, and y'all need to do something about that. Are you freaking serious? That's a quote from her. If there is anything that happened out of the, oh God almighty, see, that's what I mean about rage-inducing. She told police, if anything happened out of the ordinary, my 3-year-old child did it, and y'all need to do something about that. Good God almighty. Neat Noodle says, am I crazy for thinking that blaming her toddler is almost as bad as the murder itself? No, you are not. It is horrible, especially the fact that she was trying to get them to what? Take her to jail? The 3-year-old? Y'all don't, oh, clicker, thank you. Hey, Jennifer. Oh my God almighty, y'all. She thought she could get rid of both at one time. You disgusting. Oh. This is another quote. She's the last person to see him alive, and she's been doing little jealousy little things. Evaluate that girl, she told the detectives. All children do little jealousy little things when there's a new baby in the house, you dumbass. An autopsy revealed that the baby died from blunt force trauma to the head and that his injuries were inflicted by an adult, police said. Through witness interviews, detectives learned the child's mother, Alicia Parker, was the only adult in the home in the hours leading up to the child's death. Let's go look at the local news. So remember, her great aunt named Oprah Means spoke out. Family grieves murdered baby. Oh my God almighty. We're going to pause that. In the early morning hours of January 7th, police responded to a home on Hemlock Alley for a report of an unresponsive infant just before 2 a.m. First responders attempted CPR, and the child, Davon Means, was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. His great aunt said through tears, I held this little boy. It breaks my heart so bad that he's not here. Means spoke with Pittsburgh's Action News 4 Wednesday night, hours after she learned that Parker was implicated in the death. And this is where she says, she stopped calling my sister Sunday and told my sister the baby. She called my sister Sunday, told my sister the baby stopped breathing. She kept saying little things like, he was sick. Means' nephew by blood is the father of Davon. She said her nephew is currently incarcerated and learned about his son's death behind bars. He's broken, she said. Can't imagine. Parker was living on Hemlock Valley with Davon, her 3-year-old daughter, her cousin, and an 18-month-old child that belonged to the cousin. Remember, the cousin is witness 1. That witness alleged that on the night of January 6th, he spoke to Parker and could hear the baby crying in the background. The witness said Parker told her/him that Davon and the 3-year-old were asleep in Parker's room. When the witness returned to the home on Hemlock Valley, she said Parker was still awake and drinking alcohol, later identified as tequila. This is when they noticed that the ear was noticeably white and the baby did not appear to be breathing. At the hospital, after Davon was pronounced dead, detectives said that Parker said unsolicited, "If there's anything that happened out of the ordinary, my 3-year-old child did it, and y'all need to do something about that." An autopsy later determined that Davon suffered blunt force trauma to the head, and given the extent of the injuries, they had been inflicted by an adult, not a 3-year-old child. Oprah Means showed Pittsburgh Action's News 4 text Parker had sent in recent months in which she complained about old trauma in her life. Means said she and other family members had offered care for Davon, but she rebuffed those suggestions. "I tried to talk to her on many occasions and ask, 'Are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you?' There's only so much you can help or do for a person that don't want your help," unquote, from Aunt Oprah Means. Pittsburgh Action News 4 discovered that Parker has faced a slew of criminal charges in the past, including counts of criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, simple assault, and other lesser offenses. Neat Noodle says, "I left the room for a second, leaving my 3-year-old new baby. Heard loud crying and ran back in to find a huge cookie in the baby's mouth. My 3-year-old said, 'Mommy, I'm sharing.'" Well, that's adorable and sweet. And they might get jealous at 3, but to go to the extent of blunt force trauma, hey, MK, we all need to go to a rage room to recover. For real. Please be careful, Pointer Lover. Yes, Hemlock Alley. Do you know that place, Janet? It is, Kimberly. Very sad. Just because you can make babies doesn't mean you should have them. Hey, Aunt Diane. Love and hugs to you. Blaming a toddler. Oh, my God almighty, you guys. All right, so we have a few more I want to look at with you guys. This is the next one, and this is where CPS comes into play. Like I said at the beginning, if you missed it, I have a series, True Crime News. I love this series. We get to just 1, it's kind of laid back. We're just hanging out. 2, we're discussing really important stuff. This is probably one of the most important series on my channel, and it's probably the least popular. But I don't want to stop. I love doing it. I love to, like, even though it's horribly sad and just infuriating, there is something to be said for, like, bringing and talking about these cases, these children, these missing children that aren't being talked about. There are a few underlining issues in every single episode. One is kids getting the guns that aren't locked up appropriately and accidentally shooting themselves, their siblings, their parents, etc. 2, we see lots of essay against kids and trafficking and stuff. But another really big issue that comes up just about every time is CPS. So, hey, on the case with Jeannie. Thank you, Mayla's mom. Thank you, JC. Well, I love that you guys are here with me. It's amazing to me that these kinds of cases are not more widely reported. That's how I feel. And that's kind of what, like, inspired me to keep doing it, because I would go over to Crime Online, or there's a couple other places like you can, like the New York Post, Oxygen. There's a few different places writing similar articles. But on Crime Online, they just gather them all together. And there are so many that are just absolutely disgusting and shocking. Look at what we've talked about so far today. And you see these cases and you're like, why? Like, I can't believe this is the first time hearing of it. We're in true crime all day, every day. Oh, thank you, Neat Noodle. I love that. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Tess says, the dumbest thing my ex ever did. Jacob, my son was 3. I was at Target. I came home and my ex and our 3-year-old son were on the roof. But no worries. He tied him to the chimney for safety. Hey, Emma D. Just hopping on. What the hell is going on with Douchebell? What? Pryor has to be off the case? What? Oh, we're going to go look at that after we get through these. Raining on your charade. As hard as these are to hear, I'm so grateful you're discussing them, Allie. Well, I'm so grateful you're here with me. What about Chad Daybell? Why? Wow. This far in? This much money being spent? Yep, he resigned. What? I told you guys I've had like a very busy day. Hey, cutie pie. Just with the kids, my own personal stuff, my own business issues, my own trying to schedule appointments and all kinds of things. So I have not seen anything. Wow. I know, Tess. We're going to look at it after this. So let's give it some time. Maybe some things will come out, Nady, and I'm sure we'll be discussing it. We'll go find that. I have a few more really important things I want to get through, like this story. So 4-year-old girl starves to death despite multiple social services calls to police. So social services actually did contact police. Oftentimes we're talking about, this is the weird thing. Almost every case we discuss that involves little children, CPS has been called multiple times and done nothing, including a recent one, Tiffany Lucas. But Adam Montgomery, I could go on and on. It's just literally almost everyone. Look, in the Summer Wells case, we know that CPS was involved. They had just been there the day before. And I'm not saying that, who did that. I don't know. But it is an underlying theme, and I believe the whole entire system needs to be redone. So let's see about this one. Atlanta police are currently investigating the reasons behind the failure to conduct welfare checks on a family, despite receiving 3 requests from social services. So this is when they actually are doing their job, but as the police failed. So look here, if by chance CPS doesn't fail, then the freaking police do. 2 weeks before Christmas, 4-year-old Treasure McWeay passed away from starvation. Her father, Rodney Weaver, 31, who appeared at a hearing Thursday at the Fulton County Magistrate Court, is now facing multiple felony charges for Treasure's death and the alleged abuse of her siblings. The incident unfolded on December 11th. Atlanta police homicide detectives arrived at Hughes Spalding Children's Healthcare of Atlanta following the child's death. Detectives learned that the victim was extremely malnourished with sunken cheekbones and eyes. A responding detective described the child as, quote, just pure bone, unquote, at the time of death. During an interview at the hospital, the defendant told investigators that the children, quote, are not allowed outside and stay in their rooms unless he allows them out, unquote, detectives wrote. Dad straight up told that to police. Is my Bendy Lou here? Hello, Bendy. Allie, that's what somebody just came in and said. You want to come up after? I got like 2 or 3 little things I want to go through. If you can't, it's okay. But at the end of this, we're going to pull it up to see just like what the breaking news, what the reports say. I guess I'll pull up Twitter or something and we'll go from there. Allie gets sing-songy when she gets riled up. I get pissed in these. You'll usually see me raging, laughing, crying, not laughing at the cases, but just like with you guys over like your kid being tied to the chimney test. Like that's adorable. But it's a range of emotions on these lives. The paperwork is on the tube. Oh, we're going to go check it out. Faux show. Yay. Okay. Thank you. Had cameras that pointed at their bed. So Mayla's mom, had you heard of this? If his kids need something, he will take it to them. Mr. McWeay stated his kids have toys to play with in their rooms. Arrest affidavits indicated Treasure and her brothers, aged 3 and 5, were found living in a squalor and a lower level place on Renfrew Court after their father physically assaulted their mother and half-sister before she fled to Maryland with her older children. McWeay wasn't supposed to have legal custody of the 3 children, according to Division of Family and Children Services. He's accused of going to Maryland in July, grabbing the children from their mom and bringing them back to the same duplex DCFS had taken them out of in less than 2 weeks before. There was just a typo. I apologize. According to a state, isn't it DCFS, Department of Children and Family Services. They're calling it DFCS. Regardless, according to a file obtained by Fox, Children's Services workers then unsuccessfully tried getting help from the police to find the children. The affidavit further revealed that Dad confined the 3 younger children, keeping them isolated and locked in their rooms. Security cameras were reportedly directed at their beds, and they had no access to necessities such as food, water, or bathrooms. The only available food inside the residence was described as expired eggs and milk. During Thursday's hearing, Detective Summer Benton with the Homicide Unit testified that in one particular instance, police failed to respond to a call from DCFS made 11 days after the reported kidnapping. Atlanta police told Fox 5 that an investigation has now been initiated into the calls to determine what happened. Officers were dispatched to the home, but it does not appear they had contact with Dad or the children. In an effort to ensure these calls were handled properly, the police department's Office of Professional Standards has initiated an investigation into these calls. Wow. So he has 14 charges, including, in part, kidnapping and child cruelty. Let's look at this local news article. Unbelievable, you guys. You have totally thrown me off with this Chad Daybell stuff. Tess, oh my God. Okay, Tess says, should I send you a couple tweets? Supposedly Chad is indigent, whatever the heck that means. Well, I'm going to pull up Twitter and do the latest, but if you want to, you can send to that Facebook account I use for YouTube. But I have heard prior, you guys have heard it too, if you think about it. How many times has Pryor mentioned Chad's money running out? He's mentioned it since the beginning for the last 2 years. Q-tip, it was horrific. What happened, Brandy? I hope you're okay. Wow. Y'all, my apologies, but I get hanky-pankies in a wad of that Colt mamaker and her. I know, me too, Emma. No apologies. I'm glad you told us. Oh, I'm sorry, Brandy. Hey, Lynn. I'm so glad y'all came in here and told us, because that is just so interesting. And I'm excited you're going to come up to chat about it in a second. So let me just look at this really quick, and then we're going to just skim. I think there was one other missing case I wanted to highlight. Sorry. Atlanta police are investigating why, despite 3 requests from child welfare authorities, no officer ever checked on a family living in squalor. It appears to me a bunch of different systems here failed, said an attorney with the former juvenile court judge and director of DCFS. Whoa. Well, that was strange. Apparently my stream wasn't private. I don't want to read that. We can get into this more though. I'll do some looking at it, but I mean, cameras pointed at their beds. Let's just say if police would have shown up, they would and actually went inside, they would have been able to see that, and this likely wouldn't have even happened, but whatever. Oh, did y'all see this? I didn't read it, but I saw it when I was preparing for True Crime News. Boyfriend who killed Gypsy Rose's mother calls himself Mr. Smiley in an email to the media. Let's look at that. Let me go ahead and drop the link for you, Jen, and then we'll talk about Daybell after this, because I know you are working on a documentary on Gypsy's case, and Jen has been busting her ass. Chad did at least 3 split the mother's money between his children. So, yeah, he's broke without Lori. Let's look at this. So, apparently, Nicholas Godejohn has reportedly spoken out in light of her release. This is where he refers to himself in an email to the New York Post. He calls himself, quote, Mr. Smiley, unquote. He said, I want people to know that I am not lost in the ether of all what is going on with whom shall not be named. I am just being patient for my true time to speak, he allegedly wrote to the New York Post. We know the story. I'm not going to read all of that. Did they not link the New York Post? I bet this is it. Yes. Exclusive. Killer ex-boyfriend of Gypsy Rose calls himself Mr. Smiley in creepy email to the Post. Whatever he means by the statement we just read. Are they going to give any more than that? Okay, so asked by the Post what Godejohn thought of her newfound home, marital escapades, and what life has been like behind bars, he said, quote, I must be conscientious about my decisions, unquote. A lot of these questions will be answered in a foreseeable interview at the right time, which is not now. In the email, Godejohn appeared polite and childlike, using smiley faces 6 times during the 109-word correspondence. Stay positive, healthy, and safe, Mr. Vago, he said, referring to a Post reporter. True sincerity, Nicholas, Mr. Smiley, Godejohn. Wow. I wish they would have posted the article in here, or the email in here. He said he's not going to talk about it right now. He has to be smart about his decisions. Creepy how? Yeah, I didn't find it creepy either, besides that Mr. Smiley part. That's kind of weird. But he says a couple things. Let me read his direct quotes again. These are everything I'm about to speak is a direct quote from the email, according to the New York Post. He said, I want people to know that I am not lost in the ether of all of what's going on with whom shall not be named. I am just being patient for my true time to speak. Then he continued with, I must be conscientious about my decisions. A lot of these questions will be answered in a foreseeable interview at the right time, which is not now. Stay positive, healthy, and safe, Mr. Vago. True sincerity, Nicholas, Mr. Smiley, Godejohn. I also didn't find that creepy. That's interesting. That's how they word it. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite people in the world. Hey, Bendy. Hey, get me a snack.
Hi, good thing that it's me and not a peen bomber.
Yeah, you're right. Didn't
God
think
love
about
you,
that.
Allie. You're just so dadgum trusting.
I love you too. Did you see that he wrote this email?
Oh yeah, Nick. Okay, I've seen a ton of Nick emails. Right, I've never corresponded with him, and I'll tell you why. Because I knew that he was going to appeal, and I never wanted to do anything to inadvertently mess up the potential of an appeal. I do not think that, I want to be clear why I rooted for his appeal. It's not because I don't think Nicholas Godejohn is guilty. He clearly is. He's admitted it like 11 billion times. What I think is he was charged incorrectly. I think he was overcharged for for the circumstances surrounding his crime. That's what I think. And I do think that, so I didn't want to do anything to mess that up, and on an accident.
Right. Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know that at all. Because, well, I've not studied this case at all like you. I can't wait for your documentary because I'll probably learn a lot. I've really just been following the release because I do find it fascinating, like other people's fascination with her in this.
Well, yeah. And that, thank you for being excited for my documentary. I really hope it lives up to that trailer. I'm kind of scared. What if it doesn't? But I'll say this. I think what people, and Nicholas himself doesn't really understand or know how to properly convey. So these quote unquote personalities, right, that he describes, like Mr. Smiley, Victor, the 500-year-old vampire.
Does he have those? I didn't know that.
Okay.
See, I don't know this stuff.
What he is labeling as multiple, potentially dissociative identity disorder, but he calls it multiple personality disorder. after all the things that I have read, I've read a ton of his communications with other people, blah, 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 right? Listening to him speak, what he's actually describing is not personalities. It's more like emotions, but he doesn't have, I think, the tools to talk about them that way. So he attributes it to having multiple personality disorder, when in truth, what he's really talking about are emotions. Like
Okay.
Mr. Smiley, that's like his,
Jovial.
happy. Yeah, that's just, we all have different aspects to our personality. So if you think about it, multiple personality means something very, very specific. And he wouldn't be aware of the alters or what they do unless there was therapy and integration and all of that stuff.
After time. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So what he's really talking about is feelings, like anger. Anger is Victor, wrath, vengeance. That's why that part of him, that emotion, when Gypsy told him, hey, listen, like I think it was 2 days or the day before he got on the bus from Wisconsin to Missouri, Gypsy told him that her mother made her sleep on the porch and she had to pee in the bushes.
Right. Yeah.
How
unfair. It just doesn't feel fair at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So
okay,
but that's not what I'm up for. So,
well, I know that Jen's at the point with that case where she's been studying it deeply, court records, everything for years before she even came onto YouTube. This was a case that drew her in for years. And I think you're just done with it. You want to put out your documentary and then just let it be.
Exactly. Like I think that the documentary will speak for itself, and whatever people come away from with that documentary, if they learn something new or I change their mind or something, that's wonderful. If I don't change their mind, that's fine too, because I'm not really looking to change anybody's mind. I just want to be done. I just want to put what I know out there in a way that one and done. That's it.
Right. I don't blame you. Adrian, thank you so much for gifting those. That was freaking sweet. And welcome, you guys. And hey, real Pocahontas. So this is what happens when I search Chad Daybell into Twitter. Now, a couple things before we get into this. First, Do you remember prior mentioning several times that Chad was running out of money?
Yes.
Now he claims that this says here, breaking news from Court TV, Chad Daybell's attorney files motion to withdraw. Attorney John Pryor says the husband of Lori Vallow Daybell can no longer afford his services. How can he do that at this point when trial is approaching and, just very soon this spring? How can he do that? Could the judge say, no, you have to finish this out?
Well, he's a private attorney and not a public defender, right? So
yeah. Tolini was, though, and they ended up paying them, right?
Because, so different states do it different ways, okay? So especially in death penalty cases. So frequently what occurs in death penalty cases is they have contracts and with other attorneys who do not work directly for the public defender's office. And so what they'll do is they will give them a case that for them to try, a client, a specific case, a specific client, and they will be reimbursed at the public defender's office, whatever their rate of pay is. They will, and there are, and I do think that there are attorneys that I think most criminal attorneys are required to give so many hours pro bono. It's not really pro bono because, they are getting reimbursed by the state, but, it's definitely a huge step down from their usual rate of pay.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, because they talked about that with Tolini and them too. Like they usually charge however much for Dorothy or for them, but in this case they didn't. So is it possible though that the state could say, instead of paying for a new lawyer, going through all of that, we will pay you?
If he's one of those attorneys that they contract out, Idaho does things just a little bit differently. And this is so new that I haven't had like an opportunity to like actually, first of all, look into it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I got to tell Ellie. There's nobody else I wanted to tell but you. So I came in here immediately. I mean, I was already in here on the iPad, but I took the phone out to have a little bit of a break. Anyway, so I'm not exactly sure how all of this is going to play out. I think that it's horrible and unfortunate timing. I mean, his trial is 4 months away.
Yeah. When does it start? Supposed to
April,
start?
I think.
Okay.
Soon.
Question, Donna.
Speaking of trials coming up, guess who got a trial date?
Who?
Sarah Boone. Mm-hmm.
What is it?
January 26th.
Oh, damn.
Uh-huh. I know. I'm excited.
My God.
I'm not getting too excited though, because as you know,
2 weeks.
She has let me down before. And this is her. I didn't realize this, but her trial has been put off 13 times.
Wow.
So maybe 13 is a lucky number for her. Who knows? But anyway, with Chad, I mean, the fact of the matter is he is a private attorney, and private attorneys can charge what they want. And if the client can no longer pay, the client can no longer pay. I mean, I'd have to look more into how Idaho works, because usually this would be something that would be established at the beginning. And I can't imagine that both Chad and John Pryor are unaware that this was going to take some time, Okay, so I don't know.
Oh my gosh. KPM and MK, will you name that case again so I can get it? Well, let me read this part of the paperwork and tell me what you think. Okay, so pursuant to ICR 44.1, undersigned counsel hereby moves to withdraw as counsel from this case. Since May 25th, 2021, undersigned counsel has represented Mr. Daybell in this case and the related previous case under cause number blah, blah, blah. Prior to that time, in that time, undersigned counsel has undertaken as sole counsel all matters of representation, including obtaining and reviewing discovery, conducting investigation, and hiring and working with numerous experts. Mr. Daybell retained undersigned counsel with personal funds. At a hearing on January 19th, 2023, this court inquired of Mr. Daybell and declared him indigent. Mr. Daybell does not have the ability to pay for counsel's continued services, and Mr. Daybell seeks the appointment of 2 capital qualified attorneys to represent him in this matter. Hold on. As the court is aware, this case is both extraordinarily complex, and the prosecution is seeking the death penalty, which requires counsel to essentially prepare for 2 trials. See defendant's motion to continue the trial date to enforce his constitutional rights. Reflecting this complexity and the work required to prepare and try this case, this court has set aside 2 full months for a trial, and the prosecution team consists of no less than 5 attorneys from 2 county offices, including an out-of-state attorney taxpayer expense. Remaining on this case would require undersigned counsel to work around the clock more than full time for more than 4 months without compensation and without the assistance of any other counsel. This motion is made with Daybell's full consent. He has requested from me that he be given 2 capital qualified attorneys for his trial. I have made a diligent effort to find a lawyer to assist in the matter for a significant amount of time. The attorney who I located and agreed to try to get qualified has not yet been approved by the Public Defense Commission. The time for him to be of any assistance to me in preparing for this trial is long gone. Because Daybell is facing death and has been determined indigent, he is statutorily entitled to appointment of 2 counsel who are capital qualified as state expense. The Idaho Public Defense Commission maintains a roster of qualified attorneys, while undersigned counsel could accept appointment to this case if it were non-capital. Mr. Daybell is facing the death penalty. You think they're going to drop do you think this is an attempt to drop the death penalty? Oh my God.
I mean, it could be, but regardless, how does that change anything financially for Chad Daybell or Pryor? Even if they do drop the charges, right? Daybell can't afford, even if they were to drop the charges, Jesus, Jen, the death penalty, right? Daybell cannot afford to, excuse me, to pay him to even work on a life without the possibility of parole case. And I got to tell you, I do not see the prosecution dropping the death penalty, because they didn't want to drop it on Lori.
Right.
That is very important to keep in mind. What happened was the state gave over this huge amount of discovery past the date, and it was late, and the trial was looming. And the court, the judge, had to, that it was a sanction against the state. It wasn't because Lori lobbied, or her counsel on behalf of her lobbied and was successful in getting them to remove the death penalty. It was because the state had been so late in giving them such a huge amount of discovery that, that's what happened. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chicken Shite, for the gifted membership. Well, Kelly P says Ann Taylor, but just the way he wrote it, that he says, while undersigned counsel could accept appointment to this case if it were non-capital, because Mr. Daybell is facing the death penalty, undersigned counsel cannot be appointed pursuant to statute. The counsel therefore moves to withdrawal.
And Ann Taylor cannot take his case. Not now, anyway.
She's too.
I mean, she's busy.
Probably.
She's got a capital. She's got her own capital defense that she's working on, so she can't take it.
Good God Almighty!
I know.
Oh wow! I wonder, and also you have to think about, like, if, let's say it was a tactic for the death penalty, which it probably isn't. He is indigent. We've known that for a year, but let's just say that it was. What about the family and their wishes? Where does that come in? Like, don't they keep that to consideration?
I mean, to a certain extent, yes. The state will take into consideration the family's wishes, but at the same time, you know, I mean, this is very complex. This is very, very late. I am so confused as to why this is being done at such a late stage. But I mean, I've never seen anything like this, and I've seen some really crazy court antics, y'all. Like, you know, I have seen some things in my day covering trials.
Yeah, and you've been covering them longer than really anybody I know. So I always love to get your input about that stuff. But don't you think that he was so he was was taking it very serious. He showed up every day at Lori's. I mean, he fought hard for
He did.
Chad.
He did. And I think that, you know, it is going to be for any attorney, okay, Chad Daybell's trial is going to be a monumental task for a single attorney. He definitely needs some staff. And the fact is that he can't get the staff that he needs even at his own firm because Chad is indigent. So there's no more money. And the firm is like, we're not going to be spending more money when homeboy can't pay. Like, that's not going to happen. We're not going to take a loss here. So this is very, very problematic. I really don't know, you guys. I really don't. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, just when I think, just when I think that, like, okay, we're making some progress, things are going to be all right. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
And you're right. It's like another something thrown out of nowhere. And I don't know. So I wonder why it was so hard for him to get staff.
What do you mean, babe?
Like to get extra lawyers on with him or whatever to work on it.
Because Chad was running out of money.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised that the court didn't. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, this is something that should have been declared a long time ago, I think.
Emma D, oh my God, I love you. I've got to go light a left-handed cigarette over this.
Yeah, you guys, I hate to say this, but I really do think, I don't think we're going to see Chad on trial for a while. I really don't.
That freaking sucks, man. Well, Lori might go before him. Mayla's mom, you mentioned Tiffany Lucas, and I saw that video that I saw like her court appearance, and they said something about a trial date set for like very soon, but she hasn't had like the pretrial hearings and all that. Can you skip that and do like a fast track trial? Or were they just mistaken about the words? Like, she hasn't had a pretrial hearing or anything. Preliminary hearing.
I have to look at that. I don't want to say anything until I know what was said and read it for myself, because that's how people be getting in trouble on these YouTube streets and when they don't know.
Well, after I'll find it and send it to you so you can look at what I'm talking about exactly and let me know what you think. Because there's something happening next week. David, I love that so much. David said this place makes the day better. You guys make the day better.
Yeah, and believe me, today was a day, and we needed a day. We needed a day brightener. So thank you all for being the day brighteners.
Yes, absolutely. KPM, where did he get the money in the first place? That was from Tammy's life insurance, right?
Yeah, I think so. Which always sort of bothered me because it left a really yucky taste in my mouth about that, number one. And number two, like, the whole time that Tammy and Chad were married, money was a huge issue for them. Right. So like for him to be able to all of a sudden now afford an attorney, when, she basically worked her butt off as a librarian, and for a lot of years, she was the main and only source of income in that household. And, the fact that in a way, it's not, he didn't profit off of her death, because profiting would mean that he'd be able to have the money and spend the money freely. But instead, he had to pay for an attorney to defend himself with that money that wouldn't have been available, all that Tammy wouldn't have had available. Let's say Tammy got into some kind of jam, and needed a defense attorney. They would have been indigent, and she would have had to have the public defender.
Yeah, you're right, and it's a shame that she, that because you're right. We have heard that they struggled. They
They
struggled
did.
sometimes, and it's just all so sad and unfortunate. Look at this when I typed in Adam Montgomery because Lynn said Adam Montgomery next week. Does it start next week? I am freaking excited for that. But it says, wow, next week is looking. Who is back? Tracy Ferreter, Sarah Boone, Adam Montgomery, Alex Murdoch, Robert Tales, and Karen Reed.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my gosh. I am really looking forward to Adam's trial.
Yeah, I'm glad that I never thought that motion that was filed more recently, asking for an addition of counsel was going to have really any serious impact, because they weren't asking for like a whole new counsel. They were asking for the addition of counsel. So that's something altogether different, and doesn't complicate things as much. So That's good, I guess.
King Raku, we missed you too. I just cannot stand Letitia. I'm excited y'all are moving on. Well, we will go back and forth, but I know this. During Adam's trial, I think that Jen and I will probably be covering it daily.
Yeah, I have I want to cover it daily. Yeah.
Me too. And you'll probably stream it, and I'll probably do like discussions after or something, take notes all day. And then like we did with Letitia, which was very interesting to do. So whenever you want to come on, I would love for you to come with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I might do a little bit of both. I bit off a lot more than I thought, than I could really chew, doing a Patreon. And everybody that has joined the Patreon has been so incredibly patient with me. And I really owe it to them. So I might not stream the trial. I might do just, recaps, because I have other stuff that I need to be doing,
Right.
because I owe my Patreon. And so I want to do that,
I understand that for sure. Donna, I agree. She says we still like the Tisha stuff lots of times just for the laughs. But this trial is one I've been following this since long before anyone was arrested. And when Harmony, I want to follow it out. Let's see. This was just put out 2 days ago. Adam Montgomery's team files witness list ahead of trial. The Manchester man accused of killing his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony. Is it just a video? I think it might be just a video. Hold on. There was also another article on Twitter. But they said there was 2 names on the witness list. So hold on.
Two people?
Yeah.
This fool gonna call two. As in not one, but 2.
Yep.
As in, how many beers have you had to drink tonight? 2. That.
Yep.
2.
How many was it that
2.
what's her name called? Tisha? She only called Dorothy, and was that it? No, 2. Because wasn't there one before Dorothy? I can't remember.
Yes, it was. She called the doctor that saw her in for her anxiety. Remember?
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Okay, I got the article now. I'm sorry. It says that the defense team in Adam Montgomery's upcoming trial has released its witness list, which includes just 2 names. One of the people on the list, oh my God, is Michael Harju.
I don't know who that is.
It's an inmate at Hillsbury County House of Corrections. The other is Michelle Rafferty of Massachusetts. It's unclear what her connection is to the case. The defense said it might also call any witness on the state's list, which consists of about 200 people.
Oh, Jesus.
Including 25% of the police force in Manchester.
Oh, shit.
The defense also filed a motion to prevent
he comes with 2.
And 2, yeah. The defense also filed a motion to prevent any conversations between Montgomery and his wife, Kayla, from being entered as evidence, citing marital privilege. His attorneys point to the New Hampshire Rule of Evidence 504, which establishes a husband and wife privilege and provides that neither shall be allowed to testify against the other as to any statement, conversation, letter, or other communication. She is expected to be a key witness in the trial. Oh my gosh, Jen, this is
So basically, all she can testify to is what she witnessed. She cannot talk about like
their conversation.
She can't say things like and I asked Adam, where's Harmony, or wow.
And remember,
and any time he called her, I wonder if he called her from La Pinta, the clink, and if so, those would not be admissible either.
Well, I know he also just asked for, excuse me, this video that's on the screen, that police member, I think we talked about this on your channel, him being stopped by police. He's asked for that not to be submitted. He's asked for him being at Home Depot getting the lie, for that to be thrown out. He's asking for like a few things to be thrown out.
Good luck.
Yep.
It's not going to happen. They're going to it's coming in. There's no way that it's not coming in. Absolutely not. It's coming in.
Lawyers want to block use of police body cam. I'm just seeing if they put the trial date in here is the reason I pulled this article. Just so we know for sure, because I can't remember exactly the day.
Okay. I'm sorry about how unprofessional it was that I was saying 2 beers, officer. I'm just so blown away that he only has two people. 2.
Up against 200. It says
yes.
It's in February.
Okay. Well, that seems about right, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't give a date, but we'll find out, because we got lots to do and talk about, Jen. I look forward to doing that with you.
Me too. I always have the best time covering trials with you because, let's be honest, your reactions are everything.
Yours are.
I really love it when you're like, Jan, did you see that? And I'm like, yes, I'm watching the same thing you are. Or I'm like, Allie, can you believe this? And you're like, yes, I'm watching the same thing you are.
I know. It's so fun, though. And not that it's fun, because it's horrible stuff, and it can be.
It is a horrible case, but it makes it bearable when you can share in the horror with somebody that you truly, really, adore. And that I truly adore you, and I enjoy hanging out with you and stuff. We have some really great conversations.
And I know I adore you too. And you're right. It's just like, I know that it's sad, but
it is sad, but justice is on its way.
Yeah, which is a good thing. And talking about it, because you can't just pretend like that doesn't happen. Just like this true crime news,
Yeah.
It's a lot of cases that happen that you never hear anywhere, and they don't get talked about. And so
no, they don't. They don't. And it's sad. It really is. It's, and I was one of the things that I try not to have New Year's resolutions because, honestly, let's be realistic about these things. That's hard to do, to have a New Year's resolution. But I did think about some things that I wanted to accomplish this year. And I do really want to devote more time on my channel to talking about cases that aren't getting the attention that they deserve. And I really want to do something.
I was thinking today, about your future on YouTube, and just because after I watched that trailer for the documentary, and I know you've been practicing and you've been purchasing new software and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, like, I could really see you doing a lot of big, like, edited videos, which are really cool. And you have, I don't know, you might reach a different audience, but I could just see you doing very good edited, pre-recorded stuff.
Thank you. Well, I like almost didn't intend to ever be a live streamer, to be honest with you. Videos is what I sort of intended to do. But once I started going live, I really enjoy being able to interact with you guys. I really do with the chat. It's one of my favorite things.
I do too.
And you can't really do that on a
yeah.
on a video the same way. And I think there are some cases that need to be like, it's better to stream. It's, I don't know.
I agree with you, but I think you could do both. You know what I mean? I don't see the sense of community with like the pre-records really.
Yeah. And that's another thing that I would miss, is I wouldn't have that. And that would really kind of, I'm not going to lie, that would really bum me out, you guys. I like hanging out with y'all. I really do.
Me too. I reckon I may have to do me a channel too, where it's focused on drinking, smoking, cussing, and crime.
I mean, I've been quite successful doing that.
Yeah.
Minus the drinking.
Smoking, cussing, and crime. Hey, Kalada Hope. Oh, yeah. Jen Lou, do you follow Swoop? I do. The YouTube creator? Oh, wow. Okay. So
you got to get me. You got to send it to me.
I will. She does like these long documentaries that are very good. She is so incredibly talented with editing. Oh my God. I can't believe. Yeah, I have to show you this. And she does some true crime, but some is like social issues and stuff. The craziest thing about it is she had a channel before. Love you too, Deb. Swoop had a channel before that was like almost at 1 million subscribers, and it got hacked and someone stole it, and YouTube didn't give it back. That's how I found her, because her first video on her yes, Deb, I think she does have blue hair. Let me look now. Her first video on this new channel was all about that, like YouTube and the her not getting her channel back. But she is so talented at editing. She's done like this one. She's won awards and done like these film festivals for certain edited pieces she's done on anxiety and different things. Yeah, blue hair. I don't know why my brain did that, but she's really good.
Right. Okay.
Oh, KPM, you guys are the best part of it. She would like her style, KN. You're right. You are right. Well, I'm so glad you came up, and I'm so glad you guys showed up and hung out.
Having me.
Always.
You're one of my favorite people in the whole world.
You are. Oh, you don't even know how much
I do
you
know.
mean to me, because
I do.
You are sometimes my saving grace. I just love you so much and appreciate you so much. So
I love and appreciate you, and it's all going to be good. This was we had some tests, and it's going to be fine. It's all going to be good.
Yes. Absolutely. And we got big things coming. I'm excited. Looking
we
forward
do.
to it.
Yeah, we do.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. Oh, I didn't know that. Tess said she's an SA victim from Ron Jeremy. You should tell me about that.
Wow.
Oh, Queen of Hearts, Charnel. Alex Erickson, I remember this being your dream. Very early on in Summer's case, you talked to us about wanting to have other creators come on to interview and collaborate with you. Achieve that dream. Aw. That's so cool.
You did. You're right. I remember you talking about that, and at the time I didn't have a channel, and so like I was not even like, oh, maybe one of these days it wasn't like that. It was just I'll never forget how we came together, just happenstance. So and cool. I said, do you want to do the Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell trial with me? And you said yes, and I was like, okay. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yep, that is so true. And we've been through some stuff. Mayla's mom.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Randy, have a friend like us, because we are friends.
Yeah.
Those are my friends. And True Crime Crazy, I was on the phone with Jen today when I got your box. and I was telling her what you had told me to tell her and stuff. And yeah, I just love you. And
Yes, I'm
appreciate you.
thinking of you, babe. I really am. I am absolutely 100%. I'm sending you good juju. I promise. All the juju, all the good juju.
I love all you guys. Tons and tons. Emma D, don't stop the potty mouth. We love that. Please don't stop.
Oh, I get in so much trouble for the potty mouth.
Bianca, oh, Melissa, love you back. All right, you guys, thank you for being here. We will. I will see you soon.
Yes.
Jen has some awesome stuff coming. So yeah, just thank you for being here. And I think that's all. I could probably go on and on, but I'm going to end it. So you guys have a good night. Bye.
Night. Bye.